Hello and welcome back to the Why We Do It podcast. And today we are taking a new journey. We started this podcast about a year ago, and it was predominantly for myself and folks who are colleagues of mine, friends of mine in the Pentland Triathletes Club. And when we do the Pentland Triathletes podcast with one of our members, we normally have our little logo up in the corner. But this time we're going to do something different. We're breaking away from that routine. And we will still continue to do podcasts with our Pentland Tri Club friends, probably once a month as we've done before. But we're adding a new element to it. We're bringing people in from outside the club, although not very far away, Edinburgh Tri, just up the road. And Cara Mackenzie Tait, who is just a legend and is a fantastic person to have as our first guest from outside Pentland Tri Club. So, Cara, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, all good.
Thank you so much, not only for joining us, but also for pushing me slightly to when I said I was thinking of doing this, and you said, when are we doing it? When are we doing it? So thank you. That was very helpful. And here we are. So we're going to hear your story, and wow, what a story it is. But like any good movie, we're gonna start with an extract from the final scene, and then we're going to park it, and we're going to go back to the beginning. And if everyone wants to hear the really good bits about the final part of that story, the really interesting and challenging bits about that final story, you're going to have to wait till the end. So you're going to have to hang with us here all the way through. So, Cara, thank you very much again for joining us. You are an incredible age group GB aquathlon superstar, specializing in swim run. You don't do bikes, but that's fine. And you're also a British elite aquathlon,
Yep.
and this is where the story is gonna start for us, although it's the end of the story for the time being. So welcome, and why don't you kick us off by telling us about your journey in recent times from age group GB aquathlon racing to British elite racing, and let's put this in context. You come from the 35 to 39 year age group, and you decided actually I want to try British elite. So tell us
Yep.
about that.
So it started 2 years ago. I came second overall at the Europeans, overall out of everybody in the age group, and I won my age group by like 4 minutes. And I looked at like the finishing elite times and I went, oh, I can run that and I can swim that. So I tried to get in last year in 2024. However, they were quite strict on their criteria of what you need your entry requirements, and they said no, they wouldn't give me a place because I hadn't had an up-to-date swim time, and I also hadn't met the other criteria, which was like had to represented GB before, or came top 10 in like a super serious race, which I don't do cycling, so it's not going to happen. So I just was quite disappointed last year. So I ran the Europeans anyway because like not very far away. I won overall. Like I beat all the young ones, won overall, won my age group by about 4.5 minutes this time, and I didn't even have a race. So like my husband's like, you were just cruising around in the run, had a good running season. So I thought, oh, I'll try and do the elites sometime, and it just happened to be this year. I didn't originally think I was going to do the elites this year, but yeah, I done it. So that's how I kind of got myself to the
So
elites
you
this year.
came out of the 35 to 39 age group, which you were absolutely smashing. You basically decided you were bored with that, and those elites in their 20s, that you could give them a good run for their money. So uh,
Yeah.
we fast forward to Pamplona in Spain in May this year, and
Yep.
I was out there with some of our friends from the GB squad, age group squad, and you're there as a British elite for the first time. And just tell us about the little fun start line story, and then we'll come back to this later on.
So I'm a really chatty person, and I just like to chat to folk. And I was a bit nervous, so I was just chatting away to some girls, and we're talking about, I don't know, can't remember even what we were talking about. And then like I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not even really prepared. Like my daughter's done my feet, my painted my toenails, and I looked at me and so your daughter, you got a daughter? And I was like, yeah, I've got a 3-year-old. And I looked at me like, what age are you? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm 37. They went, what? We're like 21. We thought you're like 25. And I was like, oh no,
And
I'm a mum.
and you're a mum, and there you are lining against these 21 to 23-year-olds in the British elite race with, by the way, the proper British elite tri suit. The rest of us get the age group one, which we had to buy. You've got the proper British elite tri-suit, and there you are in that race. And we'll come back to that, but we'll also come back to some other parts of the build-up, because that's only a small snippet of the story.
Yeah.
There's a much bigger part to that whole story. But let's go back to the beginning. But as we do that, just remind us, you and I were chatting before we started recording. Just remind us what your 5K PB is.
So it's 1704 that I
1704.
ran after having last year. So it was like after I had Rennie, I ran faster than I'd ever ran.
So I was avoiding saying your exact age, but you just said it. So you were 36. You'd had a daughter the year before? A year and a half before?
2 years before.
2 years before?
Yep.
And you ran 1704. That's your PB. And your 10K PB?
So that's 35.54, which I ran in 2014. However, last year I ran 35.59 when it was blowing a gale. So I reckon that would have been a 35.30. It was just a month after my 5K. So yeah, it was just a really windy night that it was just blowing a gale. So yeah.
And you're running these times just beyond 35 and racing against these young 20-year-olds at the British elite level. That's why you're such a superstar to have as the first guest on this. What about swimming? Obviously, you're an incredible swimmer. Yeah. What kind of 100-meter time are you doing in training or in a 1,000-meter race? What are you aiming for?
I think, that's a good question, actually, Jim. I'm really bad at timing myself. Everybody wears some watches in the swimming pool. I don't do anything like that. And I always then forget to time the big clock. So usually the people I train with tell me I swim about, my race pace is about 120. I try and do 120. If you get a good course on 120, like it's kind of the race pace.
Over 1,000 meters or whatever,
yeah. So like 120, elites. I would say, like, I thought one day I'd get faster on that, but kind of 120s, 119s.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. You grew up in Edinburgh. Tell us about, I think you grew up in Edinburgh, didn't you?
No, I grew up in Ayrshire.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I remember that from a while back. Apologies. So tell us about your younger years and sport and how you came into sport and what it was all about when you were a wee nipper.
So my mum just started swimming lessons. I mean, my sisters were like 4 because she used to start at 4 or 5. And then we just went through the swimming lessons. We really liked swimming. And then once we got to like the priest club, we'd call it, they just said, you can now go into the club if you want, the swimming club. And we were just like, I was there, and then my sisters. And then we just went to swimming club when I was 8, and I just started doing races and racing competitively. By about 11 or 12, I discovered that I was really good at distance front crawl. I was better just
how does that happen? Tell us how you discover that at 11, 12.
Going into races and just like my coach saying to me, I'll try this race, and going into races and just like doing quite well at it, and then going to the Scottish champs when I was like 12, 13 and swimming 5,000 metres, 200 lengths without stopping, and I got like a Scottish bronze for it.
So 5,000 metres at the age of 13.
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13, and my coach was like, you'll be good at this, Cara, because you're good at 800s and stuff. I was like, all right. And I was always an okay swimmer.
5,000, what's the difference?
I know. But you're young, so you just do stuff like that. And then at the same time, I'd done like netball at school, volleyball. I'd done ballet till 12, even though I was absolutely terrible at it. And then my mum saw me and said, you can't stop, Cara. I went, yes, I'll just go swimming on a Wednesday night instead then. And then, done that for school. And then when I was at secondary school, we used to do cross-country and athletics, and I happened to be just good at running without any running training. Like, so I won like the cross-country and stuff. And we're just swimming. And then a boy I went to school with who lived up the road from me, his dad was a local athletics coach. And for 2 years, his dad he used to say to me, Mark used to say to me in class, my dad says you have to come to the Harriers, Cara. You have to come to the Harriers. You and your sisters, you have to come to the Harriers. And I was like, I'm all right. Like, because, I wasn't that bothered. And then I was in third year, just finished third year. My sister Colleen was just finishing first year, and she actually won the Ayrshire school. So I was always like third or fourth. Colleen just won it outright. The cross country destroyed them the 800 metres as well. And then she was like, I kind of want to go to the athletics. And then my other sister Mia said, I want to do it as well. So we sent my mum along to Jim's door and said, the girls want to go to the athletics. So we just, when I was 15, started running. So we used to go to the athletics club on a Tuesday. My mum would pick us up with a snack and then take us to swimming training. And we'd done that for about two years. And then I decided I was 17 and I was a bit just fed up of swimming and that, because I'd done it since 8, and I just gave up the swimming and I just started like doing more running.
in
And at
those
that
early
point, I wasn't as good as I was now. I was okay at running, like, but I wasn't as good as I was now.
okay. In those early stages, I mean, one thing we try to explore is why we do it. So what were you enjoying about that? What gave you the buzz? If you look back and think, what kept you going back? And I'm going to come back to the comment you made about I wasn't bothered, but I'll ask you about that in a minute. But what was it you think that you enjoyed, or that just kept you going? Why did you not just say, I've had enough, I'm going to do something else instead?
Because it's my fun for my friends. Like, we had a
So it
really
was
good
social.
yeah, social. Like, it was always social. Like, I used to love going to swimming galas with your friends, eating blocks of jelly, going for a walk at lunchtime, like being late for them. We were always, my friend's mum used to take us, we were always late, so we missed the warm up. I used to always find that really funny, and I'd go and swim with the boys, and she would be embarrassed. It was just like, it's just fun. And then with the athletics, we had such a good training group, and our coach made it so fun. We used to go on a minibus to races, and we're going up Princess Street in Edinburgh one time in the bus lane. We're like Armadillo playing, and we were all singing and going to a race in Meadowbank. It was just like, we used to have just so much fun. Like, the days away were just, brilliant.
So it wasn't about a competition as such. It was about having
No.
fun and socializing with your mates.
Yeah, like, and that's why, like, my youngest sister done it, and then when she was finally 18, she went, oh, I'm bored of this, I'm not doing it anymore. But I only used to go because I used to like going with you and my friends.
Yeah. So you used the phrase there about 3-4 minutes ago where you said, "Oh, I wasn't that bothered" or something, and it just suddenly struck me that in the time I've known you, and actually part of the story in Pamplona, when we come to the transition at Pamplona, you ooze this kind of not bothered, not stressed. I remember sitting with you about, I don't know, less than an hour before your elite race in Pamplona, and you were just tucking into a big bowl of spaghetti.
Oh yeah, I'm so hungry. That's because I'm so hungry, Jim.
Without a care in the world. You were just like chatting away. I mean, most people would literally been freaking out. So I think that's actually something that potentially worked very, very well for you, that you are so relaxed. Do you think there's something in that?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, like, see with other people, like, I'm just so relaxed, and I'm really competitive, right? And I like to train and I like to that. But when I go away to these races, I think because I'm older. See, if it was 10 years ago, I think I would be a wee bit like nervous and like really nervous and stuff. But now I think because I'm older, I'm a mum, I'm just doing it here for the sake of it, like, just not to lose. Like, I just really go there to enjoy it and go just meet people and speak to people because I love socialising and I love, like, meeting other people. So yeah, I think. And then when I was younger, like, I went through a really tough period between I was like 15 to 17 with puberty, and I ended up swimming and running really badly because my body was changing. And then when I came out of that, I started running pretty decent. And then after that,
You said you stopped the swimming and you started concentrating on running
yeah,
only when you were 17.
yeah, and I was just like, even at that point, I was okay. Like, I made the West of Scotland cross country team for the inter districts. Like, when I was at that age, where the year before I was like last in the race because of puberty. So I had a hard couple of years. So I think from that, I just didn't ever think. I always thought I was going to stop running when I was 20 because I always thought I wasn't good. But it was now a reflection. You look back in my 20s thinking that's because it was puberty. And I came out of puberty, I started running quite decent, and then I enjoyed it more because, like, I just was really enjoying it.
And was it different from before? Was it still a social, or were you enjoying it in a different way at that stage?
I was enjoying it. I think when I got a wee bit older, I was enjoying the competing and getting PBs, but also I had a really good group. I was the youngest by quite a bit, like they're all in like 20s, 30s, 40s, and I just really liked it. We used to go to like Sunday runs, we used to go to races together, and it was just such a nice club environment. We used to always have cake, and it was just like a good laugh and a good day out, especially for the relays and stuff.
And this is the same club that you were in originally?
Yeah, this is Kilmarnock Harriers, yeah.
Right, okay. And then, so your young adult sport kind of stages develop. Talk us through kind of how that builds up, because you then run into a bigger problem, didn't you, with an injury?
So basically, I went through my 20s. I used to like go to college and uni, and then go up and do my Sunday run at like 8 o'clock with like 3 hours sleeping, with less than that. I was running okay, just enjoying it. And then I got to 25, 26, and I just started seeing like lots of improvements because I was settled in work and job, and like I was training more consistently and stuff. And because I didn't have I wasn't out partying as much as I was when I was my like teens, 20s, uni and stuff. I just started like doing a bit more training, And I just started getting PBs and started then running like one sub 18 and like running like 37 minutes for 10k and then 36. And I was like, I'm really, really enjoying this. And then I got like an Achilles injury. And I was just coming back from that. And then I got I got plantar fasciitis. And then I was just coming back from that. So I was like 2014 and 15. And then I had a good summer season in 2015 and I was able to run like 36:20, and I was like, oh, that's good after having a couple of wee niggles and stuff. And then I got plantar fasciitis. It was so sore I had to stop for like 6 months. And then I was coming back from that and my knee just went in 2016. And I went to like for 2 years, I just went to different physios, tried every exercise under the sun. It was just really sore. And then eventually I went to a surgeon and he just told me that it wasn't like anything to do with running or that. It was just the way my knees are formed. So like what's happening is like my knees are out of line, and that's just because my natural makeup. And then what happened is because of that, I'd been running all those years and then my fat pads and that had been rubbing. So they said that they could give me surgery to clean the fat pad up and stuff, and that should help it. So they did that. It was 2018. Yeah, January 2018. Actually, yeah, the 5th of January, my grand's birthday. They done that, and then they said you'll be back running like a month or two. Wasn't. It got to like the September time. I still wasn't running. I was still in pain. So I went to a biomechanic guy that my husband was going to do like biomechanic stuff, and he basically like gave me all these exercises. Basically said to me, sorry.
Go on, sorry. Finish that sentence, sorry.
Basically said to me, I don't know how you've ever ran this fast, because at that point I'd run like 17 for 5k. He's like, I don't know how you've ever ran that fast, because your hips are all muddled.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the only one who's amazed by that. So, so there you go. You jumped in at the wrong moment there, but I was jumping in because you mentioned your hubby. You mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Can we say who he is?
Yeah, Callum. Yeah.
Yeah. So Callum, what's Callum's 5k PB?
I think it's like 14:30.
That's not exactly slow, is it?
Yeah, that's how we met through running.
So you met him through running, and he runs 14:30. You're 17. Are you going to go below 17, by the way?
Yeah. That's my dream. I just didn't realise when I ran 17:04, I didn't realise how close I was. And then I thought I'd do it a few weeks later, but I ran 17:08 and it was blowing a gale. Like, so yeah, I just been a bit unlucky with the conditions and stuff. So yeah,
there's some we're going to be we're talking about mum and being a mum and stuff like that, but there's some serious genes going on here, isn't there? So you've gone to your biomechanic. He's said, I don't know how you even managed to run at all. Never mind these times. Your knees are all out of line. So pick us up from there again.
So he just gave me. I just worked with him. He started giving me exercises, and then by the November, I had to go for a review at the surgeon, and they just said, well, like, I don't think you're ever going to run again. And I said, well, I'm doing these exercises. And I did actually start running, and I just built it up really slowly, like just really, really slowly. So it was like 1 minute, 1 minute off. And by like, I think it was like the February, I was only up to like 2 times 3 mile runs a week. I was still swimming. And basically said to my husband, said to Callum, do you think I could do an aquathlon? Because at this point I was missing competing. It's been about 3.5 years, 4 years I missed competing.
You were swimming?
I'm still swimming the triathlon club. I had a bit of depression.
So when did you join Edinburgh Tri?
2018. So I was in Edinburgh for a whole year, and then my sister, because she'd been in the triathlon club, and she said, you just have to go, just go. And I finally went. So yeah.
So you were swimming and you were running, but you weren't really putting them together. And then you started thinking about putting them together in an aquathlon, and that's when you were encouraged to go to Edinburgh Tri.
Yeah, I done the Glasgow Uni one. I found one. I said, I could do this, Callum. And Callum said, Cara, you're doing 6 miles a week. I mean, I know, but like, and he's like, you're easy running 6 miles a week. I was like, aye, but you know, like there's swimming in it. He's like, Cara, you have to do a 5k round Bellyhouston Park up that hill. I was like, aye, I'll be fine, Callum. So I done like 3 weeks I done a progression run on a Tuesday to prepare for it for 3 weeks. And then I just went and done it, and I came third.
You came third overall.
Yeah, and I was like, my swim was really good.
Running. Yeah, but you're swimming. You probably came out the pool about an hour before anyone else.
Yeah, like, and then my run, it was the hardest run of my life, I'll tell you that. See, being that unfit, oh, it was not
And
done
that's
any
a nasty
sessions.
hill on that Bella Houston track. I've done
Yeah.
that a couple of times. It's a nasty hill. You got to go up it twice, and
Oh,
it's pretty steep on the way up. And in a short 5K, to have a sharp hill like that twice, it takes the breath out of you, doesn't it?
yeah, I remember finishing and saying to Callum, I was never doing that again. And then a few days later, I changed my mind.
2018 is an interesting timeline because this is about the time I came into triathlon myself.
Oh, was it?
2018, 2019,
Yeah.
and I joined Pendleton Tri, and Pendleton Tri and Edinburgh Tri used
Yes.
to swim together. We used to have
Yeah.
joint sessions, and I arrived to swim at the Commonwealth Pool, and I got encouraged to move up to the fast lane, and at the front of the fast lane was this dolphin. And it turns out it was you, and I didn't really kind of know this until years later when we actually properly met, because it's actually really hard to get to know people when you're in a pool like that and just doing week in, week out sessions. So I knew you by face, and I knew you by the blur that was coming past me the other way as I was trying to basically keep on the tail end of the fast group while you were catching me on the laps. But I didn't really know you for a few years after that. So our paths had crossed then,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize you'd done the first one was Glasgow, but because we ended up doing a couple not that long after
Yeah.
that. It's Stirling and at Dundee.
Yeah.
We were both there,
Yeah.
weren't we? Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And again, I was doing my thing, and I remember at Stirling you started not that far ahead of me, and it was a 2 lap run. And by the time I was starting my second lap, you were warming down. I remember
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah. I actually
what the hell
won
is
that when
going
I
on
beat
there?
all the boys that year as well. I beat all the men.
And I'm going after my second lap, and then you're just doing stretches, and I'm like, "What? I remember you starting not that far ahead of me in the heats." So that's when I thought, "Hang on a minute, there's someone who can do this sport." So that then we had COVID just as we were all getting into it, and then you eventually got into the age group stuff. So what encouraged you, and where did you start with getting into age group aquathlon?
Well, in 2019, I won the Scottish, like, so that was done in Glasgow in the March, and by the July, I was doing more training, so I was back up and I was able to do like a 18-minute 25K within a few months. So I won the Scottish, and then somebody said to me, "Oh, Carrie, you should maybe do like," and I'd done Irvine Sprint Triathlon, used to have an aquathon, and I'd done that because I was home that weekend. And then I think somebody from there
But
that
the
I know.
Scottish champs was in Irvine as well. Was that the same place or different
No,
different
there was
thing?
the Scottish Champs with Lomans, and then the week after they had the Irvine,
Oh, okay.
2019, and I just done it because I was home down near Shire because it's like 10 minutes from my house. And somebody said to me, "You should do the age group stuff." So I actually applied for 2020, but then it cancelled because
Yeah,
of COVID.
yeah. Was
And
that the one
then,
that's going to be in Austria? Is that the one you were going to go to?
yes, yes.
Yeah, I would have been.
Um,
That would have been my first one as well.
yeah, that was going to be the first one. And
Yeah,
then obviously I just was running during COVID, swimming, like when you're allowed to swim. I got a
yeah.
David Lloyd
Outdoors
hat.
and freezing cold. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a David Lloyd membership so I could swim outside. I wasn't doing racing, I was just like doing some running races because my times I could get into certain special running races like
Hmm.
that you get invited to with Scottish Athletics. So I just doing some of them. And then 2021 I applied as well, and then that got cancelled as well. And then they get rearranged the end of October. But by that point, I had just found out I was pregnant. So
So this is
yeah, and
October of what year?
that 2021.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's supposed to be the summer, and then they cancelled them. And then I was like, oh well, I didn't realise I'm going to get rescheduled to the October. But by that point, I was pregnant, and it was actually a
So
good
that
thing because
was my first one. I went to
yeah,
October
it was that your
21.
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you were then not able to do it.
no, because I was pregnant, but it was actually
Wow.
a good thing because my father-in-law died like this time, like 2021, when I was just found out I was pregnant, he died.
Right.
And his funeral was actually the week of that race, so I wouldn't have been able to go
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Okay.
it was actually like,
Yeah. Yeah. We had about 6 weeks notice. They suddenly said we're going. It's
yeah,
in Spain and it's 6 weeks away.
yeah.
Um,
So
so that you missed that one. So then
yeah,
now you're pregnant, and actually we were training still
yeah,
together. I don't know
yeah.
how because our club stopped training at some point, and I thought it was before that. But I definitely remember the Dolphin from 2019 was now sporting a bump, and still smashing up and down the pool
Yeah.
and still
I would.
catching all of us and me and still putting me under pressure. So talk us about training when you were pregnant.
Oh, that was fine. Like swimming was totally fine. I,
There was a comment about tumble turns or something, and you
oh
got to
yeah. So I kept swimming. So I was swimming like 3 times a week, like I usually do, and then I had to stop running at 22 weeks because I had pelvic girdle pain. It was really annoying because I just ran a 39:20 10k like tempo pace a couple weeks before that. And I was like, ah. But so I started swimming like 5 times because I was like, well, I need to still do something. And Callum was like, oh God, just do what you need to do, Cara. And then I just kept swimming because I wasn't able to get back running because of pelvic girdle pain. And it was only if I ran, because if I didn't do any running, I was totally fine, like having issues. And then I went to see the midwife at like 37 weeks, and she asked me, oh, like, are you still exercising? I was like, yeah, I'm still doing 5 times a week. She looked absolutely horrified. I was like, well, I'm probably only doing like about 5 hours of swimming or something a week. And she just looks at me. I was like, well, I'm not doing the running and stuff. And then Callum said to her, oh, she's still tumble turning. And she just looked at me and went, you can't be tumble turning. I was like, why? I said, I'm totally fine. Like, I don't feel any, like, because I had a really small bump. Like, my bump would look like I was when I gave birth, I probably looked most people's 5 or 6 months pregnant. And I was like, why? Like, I'm totally fine. I can still tumble toss and this. And she just went, no, you can't in case the baby, like, moves or something. So the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy, I had to, like, touch the wall and do that. It was so annoying. And I swam right up until the day before I gave birth. And I was at the club. The only reason my husband would let me go to the club is because people were there. Yeah.
wow,
So the day before.
wow, unbelievable. So I wanted to come back to this question I've asked before. So the why we're still doing it phase now. You've gone into the tri club world. You're looking at aquathlons. You've raced a couple. You've done really well. You've qualified for GB, but COVID stopped you going. You're now pregnant. But apart from the pregnancy, which is obviously the reason you can't carry on, what was motivating you? Why were you still kind of going down there? Why were you still exercising? Why were you still racing? What was the driver?
I just really liked seeing people. Like, I loved going to. I like routine. I like going. I don't know what you would do. I'd be so bored at night. Like, I like having my routine where I go to my swim, then I come home and I relax. I like seeing my friends. I've got loads of friends at Triathlon Club. We have like we're all me in the showers that we all go to when we group. We have we just chat, and we're always empty says we always talk too much. Me and like Ailey are the loudest, so we just chat too much. It's just really like I just like seeing the people. Like just like
So
keeping
it's still
fit.
the social. It's still the having fun. You're the Scottish champion in aquathlon, being the British champion, being a European champion, being a world champion in age group. Yeah, who cares? I just want to have fun.
I just really like it. And my sister goes as well, so it's really good to catch up with my sister. And we have to tell people we're sisters because sometimes I'm like, come on, Colleen, you're being lazy because she's totally chilled, laid back. She's actually the more talented one.
Right, okay. We'll have to have her on the podcast at some point.
Yeah. Oh, my sister can run she ran like a 42-minute 10k with like no training.
No. Genes. That's all about the genes.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pregnancy kind of the day before you're still swimming, and then you have your wee girl.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that?
So obviously I took 6 weeks of doing nothing. I was too tired as well because that was I started swimming at 6 weeks, and then when I got to 12 weeks, I tried to run and I couldn't. My pelvic girdle was too sore, so I just kept swimming like 4 times a week. And then by about 18 weeks, so about 4.5 months after I had my daughter, so it was like mid-September, I could start doing running. But so I just spent the next from September to end of October just building it right up to November, and then by December I started doing wee mini sessions. And then by the January, I'd done a cross-country league race just for the team, and that was awful. I actually hated every minute of it. And then
why was that? Was
it was just hard? Just on race fit and stuff.
So it was fitness rather than the track or the weather or anything. Which cross-country is pretty miserable anyway because of the weather and the mud.
I do like a bit of cross-country, but and that. So I just thought, I was like, and that's where I've ran my best performances at cross country, before I get injured. So I was like, oh, just like, yeah, just do it. And then I just started building up the fitness again and getting a bit fitter and stuff. And then by the June time, I'd ran about 1740 and hadn't done any races or anything.
So what year we're in now?
2022.
Okay.
Oh no, I done Glasgow Uni Triathlon. I think I was second at that at first. Can't remember what was second in that year. Yeah.
Right.
And I hadn't done any racing for like, God, a year and a half. I don't know.
Right. Okay. So you're back in the game now. So how long after the baby was born? You're racing again?
I done my first aquathon about 10 months. Oh no, do you know why that was? I thought I'm going to go to do the age group stuff.
Right. So
Even
I was literally just building back to the age group. How many races did we do? And then we're into age groups. So tell us about age groups. You still haven't done an age group race because you qualified in 2019. Then there's COVID. Then you're pregnant. We're now 4 years later.
It was an IB fun. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do this.
Was that your first age group race? Because we travelled together.
Yeah.
I saw you you'd raced there before that.
No. So eventually had said to Callum, I was like, oh, do you think like I could get fit for this? And he's like, well, you're not going to be fit, but you'll be fittish. And I was like, oh, right, I'll do that. So I done the Glasgow Uni Triathlon. That went fine. The aquathon, sorry. And then I went to Ibiza, but when he got bronchitis.
I was about to say, oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah, go on.
She got bronchitis on the Wednesday. And then I was with the hospital and stuff with her. She had to get her nose, like, the snot out of it. And then by the Thursday, I felt horrendous. On the Friday, I was supposed to fly out and I had to text Callum and say I can't go because I really don't feel well. I've got a really bad cold. And he said, just go, Carrie, you need to go. And then I done the race with a really heavy cold.
Hang on, before we get to the race, yeah. So we still barely know each other. I think we're on some kind of WhatsApp group.
Oh, you gave me a laugh.
Folks going together. We decided that we were going from the same airport to the same hotel.
Yeah.
And we offered you a lift. I only remember seeing you. I only knew your feet because you're always ahead of me in the swimming. So I never really knew you. So we're giving you a lift. That's the first time we really get to meet. And we give you a lift up the road from the airport in Ibiza to the hotel for that 2023, was it? World Champs?
Yeah.
And you are sniffling and coughing. And I'm sitting in the car going, oh my God, what's up with Cara? And I'm quite selfish. So partly I'm thinking, oh, I hope she's okay for a race. And I'm thinking, I hope she's not blinking and give that to me.
Oh, no.
I felt for you so much. I didn't realize that was your first race. If I did, I've forgotten since. But you raced anyway, and you sounded horrendous. Every time we spoke to you, your voice was getting weaker and cracklier, and your breathing was all over the place. And you raced anyway. And tell us what happened.
Oh, I got a silver.
Oh, so disappointing. The fact
I was actually really disappointed because the girl who beat me, I beat the British champs 2 years before when I by miles before I had ready because I'd won the British champs and came second overall.
But it's still absolutely phenomenal. Most people would not have been able to toe the start line, and you came second.
I was racing that. I was there and I was racing that.
But I felt so sorry for you. The timing of that just lurgy that came and went so quickly was smack bang right at the wrong point. And on top of all the bad luck of COVID and then the timing of pregnancies and missing all those races over all those years. Oh, man. So talk us quickly through, because we want to get into the crunchy kind of latter part of the story here, but talk us quickly through the other age group races after that, because I think I've seen you at a few of them.
After that, I was at the Europeans at Menhen in Belgium, where I was second overall, and that's when I thought, I could do the elites.
So you won your age group there?
Yeah, and I got second at the British Champs again that year.
Overall? Your age group, but you're talking about overall,
Yeah, second overall, yeah. And
Smashed
won my age group by, I don't know how many minutes. Yeah. And then the next year, it was 2024, and I went to Euros. And that's when I just stormed it.
Where was that? That was in Coimbra, in Portugal.
Yeah, that was the easiest race of my life.
Right.
It just was so easy.
We do pictures on this podcast, and you send me some pictures. You sent me some pictures, and I don't know what two of these pictures are from. So this is perhaps in the wrong order, but given that you just mentioned it, I know this picture because I actually took this photograph.
Yes, you
Um,
did.
and this is Coimbra, isn't it? And you've just smashed your age group in
Yeah.
the European Champs.
And and they done the podium for the medals, and they gave out champagne to do a champagne, like, you know, the spray.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was determined I was getting a bottle for our group. So then we
Yeah,
all passed it around the group.
and we all had a good kind of couple of swigs.
Yeah,
So that was a great. So this is finally getting what you should have had years and years before your
yeah,
European Championships. But straight away you're thinking, you know what, this is too easy. I'm
yeah.
interested in the British elites. So we talked about that at the beginning, but talk us through the kind of, I guess, the more detailed story of the challenges you had going from this picture to that race with the elites in Pamplona.
So basically, that was like June. So I had a really good rest of the season, done some really good races, went into the cross country season, had some okay races, and then I discovered I was pregnant. So I was pregnant, and so I was like, oh, well, the elites are not going to happen, but that's fine because I wanted a child. I was really happy, and then I lost the baby in February, like at 16 weeks,
Of
because
this year.
the baby was really ill. So I had to give birth to, and we named him Isaac. He was just not a well baby. So yeah, that happened. So I had only just been tempo running and like taking it easy since like November, since I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, I took some time off and ran easy for a wee bit, and then said to
So it's
Callum,
an absolute tragedy, but
yeah, I found out in my 12-week scan that the baby was really ill. So so I had Down syndrome, but I also had like a structural defect as well. So the baby wasn't going to have any quality of life. It might not, probably wouldn't have survived anyway. So at 60, I lost the baby at 16 weeks. I had to give birth. We
and
named
that
him
was
Isaac.
February. That was February of this year.
Yeah, February this year. So I basically had some time off, done nothing, easy ran for a few weeks because I just wasn't in the mind frame for like doing training or that. Like, and then it was kind of the end of the February. I saw that the British Triathlon released their entry standards for like the multi-sports and for the elites. So I just had a really look over them, and I was like, oh my god, like they've got like I've got a guaranteed place in this. Like, so there was like
You
an
had
entry
the
standard
times.
on it, and I was like, oh my god, like, so yeah, I was like, Cam, do you think I
So you
could
had
put
the
myself?
qualifying times from races that you could submit
Yeah,
to meet the
yeah,
standard.
performances. It was to do performances.
And when were those times set? When did you do those times?
The year
Well,
before at the British Championships, it was like you had to come
all
like
right.
top 5 of the British champs, and I was second
Okay.
overall.
So
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 yeah,
in between setting those times, you've got pregnant. Your whole plan is to race is stopped,
yeah,
and then you've had this really nightmare tragedy for both of you, for all of you,
yep.
and you're weighing up your kind of what are you going to do now as you reset, and you're seeing the times and you're thinking, I'm going to go for this.
Yeah, so I was just like, do you think I should put my name forward? And Cam's like, well, let's just see how training goes. So I started back kind of training, like tempo running and stuff, and increasing my intensity in swimming, like, because I'd just been doing tempo work and like easy stuff
So when was
in
that?
March time. And
Okay,
then,
so let's just remember Pamplona. The race itself is in May, and you're
well,
starting in
I worked
March.
out I had 12 weeks to get fit from going from like pregnancy fitness, which is probably like 41. I think I was like a 40-minute 10K shape. Because I was like just tempo easy running and easy swimming, and just
Okay.
tempo swimming. So
I feel we should pause before we just race into the training and the race itself, just to go back because we on these podcasts there's often feminine health comes up in lots of different
yeah,
ways, whether that's menopause or other kind of general challenges that women will have. You've been through a lot. The
yeah.
first pregnancy all the way through childbirth, being a young mum, and continuing to train and race. Then a
A really
second
bad sleeper.
pregnancy.
I had a really bad sleeper. She didn't sleep through night till she was 18 months. And still, when I ran at Coimbra, I had about 2 weeks of really bad nights before that.
At
That
Coimbra, the one
season.
we saw the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then you're pregnant again. You unfortunately lose the baby. Oh my God, you're going through so much. So I mean, is there? I'm not sure what the right question is here, but what is the thought that you put out for other women who perhaps some of those folks we heard about at the very start of this episode, where you're on the start line with those young women. Some of them are going to become mums at some point. You would think. What would you be saying to them about just how you've managed this, how you coped with it, and what kind of mindset have you used?
You just got to be a strong woman. Like, I come from a generation of strong women. I'm just like, my mum's really strong, my gran's really strong. With like, my mum was a single parent, brought us up with not like we didn't have money, like we really struggled. So like it's just you just got on with life and do stuff, and you do grieve. I have grieved loads. I still do grieve, but you've got to do stuff and make you feel good as well. Like, even though you're a mum or have children, you've got to have a bit of you time. That's really important. Do something, and if it's good, if you can get your child used to coming to the races or used to be making that part of their day or their weekend, because it is a really fun day out. You can take them with you and they can like run about and they're in the fresh air. So yeah, it's like making it kind of a family thing, but at the same time it's for you. Like, you need some for yourself, and I think that was it's been my distraction, and it's kept me going because it keeps my mind working and makes me feel like happy, even if I'm having a bad day. Just speaking to people or training with my friends just makes me feel better.
Yeah. Wow. My heart goes out to you for everything you've been through, and actually my just kind of admiration for you and who you are and what you've done and how you've done it is off the scale. I mean, it's just phenomenal how you're able to manage that and be as strong as you are. And that takes us back to the story. So in that strength, you're weeks after that, you're weeks away from a race. Not just a race. This is your first ever British elite race, and tell us. So now we're into crunch time. So talk us through the getting there and the race itself.
So in the March time, I just built up my fitness, and then it began in April. I started doing actual sessions, just 5K track sessions. Callum and I and looked at our schedules, like, right, because I coach the women's group as well. I'm the head coach for the well, it's not a women's group, it's like a mixed group, but it's mainly women. So I edited the schedules and I'd done some different stuff and just tried to get myself fit. And then at the end of April, I'd done a 5K and ran like 18:05, I think it was. And I was like, well, that's pretty decent. I didn't run hard from November to April. So I was like, that's pretty decent. I'm not going to embarrass myself. So yeah, and I just kept training, and then I went to the race, and my aim was not to finish last, and I didn't. I was far from that. So we
get out there. Already mentioned, there you are, less than an hour before, tucking into a bowl of spaghetti, chatting away.
I'm so hungry, Jim.
As if
I eat all the time. Yeah. This is one thing, I just eat all the time as well.
So there you were, getting some race fuel on board. You then stroll off casually to your elite race. I remember trying to find my way down to the crowd to try and see the start. I couldn't see it. There's so many people watching. I could vaguely see some hats. You've had this joke with the others who can't believe that you're a mum racing against them all in the elites. That you're probably 10 plus years, slightly over 10 years older than most of them. And you're just having a laugh. And they're all kind of frozen, aren't they? And you're just kind of chatting away and having a laugh. And then talk us through the race. So the gun goes. Talk us through that.
I get in the water, I had to do a wee dive. I was like, yes, done that. That's the thing I was really nervous about.
Oh, yeah, diving in the elites. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I hadn't done this since I was like 12. So I was like, have you practiced this? I'd only done like a couple open water swims before the race, maybe 2, because I never have time to do them. So maybe I had done 2 open water swims. So not very prepared. I just had an okay swim. It was like, oh, it's fairly decent. Come out, ran up the banking, got to transition, and then I got half my race off.
So much of your story is just bad luck, and here we go again. So you're in transition, and
I got one leg off my wetsuit, no problem. And then my leg gets stuck, and then my timing chip gets stuck in another wetsuit, the other leg. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Trying to get it off, try to pull. Oh, and I was like, right, I'm just going to have to sit down. So I sat down in the elite race and got the wetsuit off and then just went, but I lost about a minute.
You lost a minute in the aquathlon,
I think it was about a minute. I lost.
Enormous.
Yeah, so I had to go and I climbed back and I took over like 4 or 5 girls and then, finished in a reasonable place. It was hard because I hadn't done any swim run races or anything, so I was a wee bit shocked in the system, but I really enjoyed it and I just loved the experience. So
So where did you
I really
finish?
enjoyed it. Sorry?
What position were you?
Oh God, now you're testing me. Was I 13th? I think I was 13th. I think I was like 13th overall, and then I'm just looking at my World Triathlon profile.
Oh, that's all right.
I was.
I think the fact that you don't
12.
know this, Cara, this sums you up. This sums you up brilliantly. You were there for the fun of it still.
Yeah.
You were there because it was a good crack. And you can't
12th
remember
overall. And I was, I think I was like 4th elite or something. So I don't know, something like that.
That's what I thought. I thought it was 4th or 5th in the
6th. I was like 6 or 7 elites if we take the juniors out.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty damn impressive, particularly as you lost a minute in transition with the baddest of bad luck. Wow. So where do we go from here, Cara? What are your plans from here?
I done the Worlds after that. So then I found out when I was out there that I'd been selected a few days before. I'd been selected for the World Championships
with the elites.
Yep, in Pontevedra. So I went out there at the end of June, and I got a bit fitter. I wasn't like it's only 4 weeks, so like what can you do in 4 weeks? Like, so I got a bit fitter. It was like 32-degree heat. I got a really bad cold. My daughter gave me a really bad cold again.
Goodness me.
So I actually on the way travelling the Wednesday I felt horrendous. The Thursday I felt horrendous. The Friday I felt a bit better. So I done the race again with a really heavy cold. And I finished 14th overall. But I came out the swim with the second pack. I had an amazing swim. And I was like, can't believe I've swam that. Like, I've come out with the second pack. I was like, oh my God, I came out with the second pack. And my run was like average. Like, for me at this point, I've just, my runs kind of struggled to get as good as it was the year before, but I've missed so much training.
You've been through so much. It's unbelievable that you're even running at all.
Yeah, so then wow. I was 14th out, so I beat like 12 or 13 people. Wow. So that was a really, even though I had the cold.
In the elite world championships.
No
do you realize I'm never going to interview anyone else who's performed at as high a level as you have on this podcast? You are the top of the benchmarks there on the kind of the highest level. Wow. So where to now? I know you still have family kind of hopes and ambitions.
I think my plans are now. So obviously I had a break. Like, done some races, had a break, went on holiday, come back, trained for a few weeks, got another cold the last week, so I had to miss most of the week of training. So I'm doing some cross country, and I'm hoping to get pregnant again and have another child, because I want really to have a more little
best
sister.
of luck with that. You've got an awful lot going on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the other quick pictures before we finish. And I don't know which one comes first. I'm guessing this one is maybe the first of the three. But what's this race? Where are we?
So that was. Brian Goodwin 10K in 2024 when it was blowing a gale. I was so tired. I was like, I'm not going to go and do the race. It was a Friday night. I was like, just go and do it. You're really fit, Cara. I done my warm up, went to the toilet just as about 7 o'clock, and I took my period. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a disaster now, because I always run really bad in the lead up to my period. I always like have really bad sessions. Like, my running group know they're like, Cara, you do your period.
Another women's racing challenge that the rest of us as blokes just don't even think can take completely.
They're always like, Cara, you do your period. And I'm like, yep. Can you tell that I ran so bad in that session? Like, yeah, you were just a bit too close to me tonight. And I was like, yeah, because I couldn't move. I was like, oh God. I went into the race. My watch, I forgot to charge my watch up, so I ran out of battery. So I just didn't know what pace I was running. I just ran the race. The wind was howling.
You were probably eating another bowl of spaghetti instead of charging your watch.
Yeah. And then I finished, I ran 35:59. I went, oh, I've just missed my PB with all those things. I was like, I definitely could have ran a 35:20 if it wasn't windy.
Jeez. So this is obviously a race you remember fondly.
Yeah.
And then this one.
And I won it as well. I won it, so I get like
You won that as
£125.
well.
That was even good. That was brilliant.
£25.
125.
Oh,
What new
100 even.
friends?
100.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic. So this one had me intrigued because, well, I'll ask you what's going on here. What race is this?
So that was my first race back after pregnancy, the Glasgow Aquathlon.
This is one you talked about earlier on.
Yeah, my first one, 2023, after having Rennie.
Right, okay. Do you know who that is in the background behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a friend of ours, Steve. So I saw that picture, I was like, what is going on here? Yeah. So Steve, who maybe will be on this podcast one day, if we can get him to come on it.
I think I might have been overtaken at that point.
You might have just been overtaking him. I'll point that out to him. I'll use this picture if I ever get him on the podcast. Here is Cara blasting past you. Brilliant. Okay. Go on.
I just like that photo because it just brings good memories. Rennie came to see me. My running coach, who's like in his late 80s at the point, came and seen me. Callum was there. It was just a really nice day.
Okay. Cara, it's been absolutely fantastic to talk to you. I will say this now, but we've had fun because your young wee girl has joined us in the twice. I'm going to job on my hands to edit that out and to try and get the story to connect in between the before and after on that. But I look forward to having that fun. So I have no idea how long this has been because some of it's going to be cut out. But it's been longer than normal. That's because
I talk too much.
No, because the story is so fascinating and there's so much to talk to you about and so much to ask you about. So it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for coming on as our first guest outside of Pentland Tri Club. And I look forward to seeing you soon and to following your journey whenever we see you at the Edinburgh Park runs or training or races all over the place. So thanks very much indeed.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. All the best. Cheers.
Bye.